scarf hold, it's a little bit easier to escape, right? And so when we talk about sweeps and we talk about escapes and whatnot, we're looking for what's called a dead angle, right? So if you think about, like if I am a table and you start to put pressure on this leg of the table, but that leg's broken, it can't post, right? The table's gonna flop over, right? And that would be the dead angle, is something that where somebody cannot quite catch themselves. So I've got this this scarf hold position, right? My hip mobility is not going to allow me to put this leg all the way back because I'm connected under the shoulder here, right? So this is a big dead angle, right? Now I'm gonna try to mitigate that by trying to sit forward and try to get my shoulders in front of my hips, but that is still a dead angle. So we have to be really, really careful with this, right? It's also not particularly easy. I mean, I can still do it, but it's gonna be a race. If he starts to turn away from me, it's not gonna be really easy for me to take advantage of that from this scarf hold position. So what can happen is I'm in this position and I'm gonna have this hand onto his shoulder, the far side shoulder, right? The one that's close to my head, rather. And I'm going to turn away hard and push his shoulder back. Now I can start to sit up and basically go into a switch-based position. So again, what I'm doing is there's an area where he's not able to stop me from taking him back. So that's going to be my ability to kind of take him back and get out of that scarf hold position. Now that's probably not the only way to do it. It's the way I usually do it whenever I'm in scarf hold. But again, you know, we've got my connection is right here, right? My pressure is onto his hip with my hip, and I'm rooting the floor through that hip. So if I'm stuck in that scarf hold position, you know, I could start to try to get him to push back into me, right? So if I'm bridging, I'm trying to get him off of me, I'm trying to get rid of that pressure, he might start to drive in and I might be able to take him over, right? So I might start to be able to bring it that way. And that would be kind of the same thing I would be doing for, you know, a switch-based position. Now, the thing about a switch-based that makes it harder for you to escape it is that now, because my leg is not committed up to this position, I have the ability to step my leg back, right? And so I'm not going to be able to be taken back as easily, but you know, I could be trying to work for getting my leg under here so I can start breaking apart this connection by bridging into him and trying to shrimp out a little bit, and then I can start working towards maybe taking this back. So there are like little opportunities, but this is going to stop me from taking this back. But, you know, I might be able to swim that arm under so that I could start working towards his back. So that's going to be kind of a way for you to start thinking about it. But again, you know, think about it. Think about, you know, where are the vulnerabilities of this position, right? Can this pressure be alleviated? Sure, you get your hips out. And then I have to follow. And if I have to follow, I'm unrooting from the ground to do so, so I might be able to get rolled here. If I could, you know, potentially get under here with my arm, right, and start to pry this out, well then I'm breaking apart that connection and I can start to escape out. So, whether or not that will be particularly successful just kind of depends. Now, when I'm talking about, you know, a low mount position, right, my feet are together. This is so that he can't hop over one of those legs and start to get out, right? My pressure is my hips on his hips. That's going to be really hard to do. And it's kind of futile because of this connection to try to unroot me or take away my pressure in this particular position. So what I actually kind of want to do in this position, especially with the low mount, is I kind of want to get a post. Now, we talked about this a little bit, and I didn't spend a whole lot of time on it yet. But if I want to move a part of the body, right, I need to make that part either heavy or light, right? If I want to move this leg, I can't just pick it up if I've got even pressure on both legs, right? But if I shift my weight to this leg, now this one is light and I can move it, right? So one of the things that, one of the common escapes for the mount especially that low mount position, is starting to bridge. And you want to bridge up and then turn, right? So just like in the warm-up, up and turn. And when I get that turn, but the reason why I'm doing that up and turn there is that if I'm in that low mount, I have to post. If I don't post, I keep my arm over here, I'm going to get rolled very easily. So if I'm here and my weight is committed to this direction, that arm is able to be collected. Now, when I collect an arm, I really want to kind of focus on bringing that elbow, not the hand, but the elbow into my chest and connecting. And from this position, I'm going to maintain this, right? I'm going to hold on to this. Now, because his legs are high off the ground, maybe he's transitioned and put his knees on the ground to kind of make himself more stable. Not really true. I'm going to bring my foot in. And so I'm going to do a little bridge to get that foot in so that I can get a higher bridge when I'm ready to go. So I'm trapping this leg and I've got his arm stuck to my chest now. Now, you know, the only thing that he has is this arm, right? The arm I don't have. And he could totally post, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to commit his arm straight ahead or over, right? So I'm going to bridge straight up, causing him to post here, and then I'm going to get that roll because he's already committed that hand here, and he's not going to be able to move it because if he did, he'd face plant, right? So that's going to be kind of your mount escape. The last one I want to talk about before I let you guys go for the night is going to be the knee ride, because we talked about that quite a bit. I know we didn't really go over north-south, and north-south is its own beast, right? But when I get into the knee ride position, it's unique, right? Because, I'm being more in frame here, because of this shit, right? Knee ride, my connection is with this leg, and here, and my knee is going to be the pressure, and I'm rooted in the floor kind of with this leg, but my root can change really easily without stopping me from, without any risk, right? I can move that leg to change my post. So knee ride presents a much different problem. So what I want you to kind of be thinking about when you're trying to defend the knee ride and start to escape it is, instead of trying to like pick up a root or you know, get rid of a post or anything like that, because they're so hypermobile, you need to start killing that mobility. All right? So one way that we would do that is try to connect the knee that's on our chest to our chest. Sounds counterintuitive. We want to get that knee off our chest. But in the knee ride position, that might actually be a better strategy, because now you've taken away that mobility. They're connected to you. So if you start to roll, they're going to roll with you. And so you're going to be able to unroot because you've connected to them. So those are kind of the things I want you to start thinking about, is how do I start to break apart that pressure, that connection, and unroot my opponent from the ground so that I can start to attack. Or start to escape and sweep and come up to that top control position. So that's just your kind of food for thought. There are, you know, other positions, like we didn't talk about the side mount, which maybe I'll go ahead and do that real quick. Right? So again, this is the side mount position where I've got this, I've got his arms trapped in here, and I've got my foot into his belly. And kind of one of the things that I want to be able to start working my way out. And one of the mistakes I used to make, like, because he's got this, right? He's got this hand. I can't take it back at the moment. You know, so I was like trying to escape by lifting this leg over my body, and then I get caught into a triangle, right? Or you can get caught in that bicep slicer because you still have that one arm in, one arm out, and they've got this arm stuck in this position. So, you know, how do we start to escape? Well, I might keep that pinned, and then I might start to work out. Maybe I'll get this leg in, right? And I've got his ankle stuck. I'm holding on to it. And then I start to lift up and flatten out. And now I can like start compromising that leg that was in front of me, right? So getting those hips out, keep committing his ankle there, and starting to break free that root and that connection using my leg. So just a few core concepts to look at, guys. Dinner's ready, so I've got to go eat now. But this is going to be kind of our review. This is kind of it for top control and top attacks for right now. We will definitely come back to this. We're going to want to talk about some things when we're talking about a gi situation, because has entirely no gi, and problematically so. So you know, we should cover things from a gi scenario. And so the next thing we're going to be talking about is start beginning to sell you on this idea of the guard and how to attack from the guard, how to sweep from the guard, why you might want to do that. And yeah, so that's what we're going to be working on next. Maybe I'll get to it tomorrow. So thank you guys so much for all your support. And again, please make requests about things that you want to see, or things that you don't like, or things that you want to see more of, or questions where you didn't understand something. Guys, the only way you're going to learn is by asking. So don't leave that hanging. Alright guys, have a good night. I'll see you next time.